Hey everybody, this is Kyle, and today I'm going to play a song for you I haven't released yet. I wrote Today's at the end of the first year as in a Song a Week group. At that time in my life, I had a lot of turmoil going on. I was writing a lot of angry songs, a lot of songs that were introspective and just kind of seeking to make sense out of things going on. What I wanted to do with the song Today's is take the idea of turmoil, of trying to come to some sort of resolution, and put it in a very familiar format. The song is a 3-chord song, G, C, and D, and there's been countless rock songs written with those 3 chords. The idea for the song Today's is taking a lot of that turmoil and trying to find a resolution. And with the song Today's, I wanted that message of making your today matter, because that's what's going to push you to a better tomorrow. Part of the reason I never released this song is at the time I was working on songs for New Vintage, and New Vintage had this idea of songs that felt like they were written in the late 60s, early 70s, and had a whole vintage vibe. This song didn't have it. Then as I decided I was going to do an album after New Vintage, which that will probably be a video in and of itself why I thought I was probably not going to do albums anymore. But for Blood Candy, this song didn't really fit that theme either. With the lyrics to the song, I was trying to flirt with being poetic and the idea of not making the words too obtuse, making it seem like someone is just talking about what's going on. So the first verse, the idea of mistakes weighing on you and changing how you see the world, a lot of times, especially like perfectionist type people, you carry around every single mistake you made. Like me, I can remember every dumb thing I've done till about age 3 or 2 almost, and that's a lot of dumb stuff. I remember. The rest of the first verse is talking about sometimes these thoughts try to pull me down, but they're just lessons in right and wrong. And that's a way of framing some of your memories, some of the things you might think about a lot, is there's lessons. It doesn't mean you have to do them again. It doesn't mean you're stuck doing them repeatedly. You can learn the difference between what was right and what was wrong. The chorus is very simple. Sometimes when I write a song, I like the idea of having a chorus that's a simple phrase that's repeated. Now, as yesterday's make our today's is repeated, it obviously changes in melody. But the idea of yesterday's make our today's, of moving forward, because sometimes we get wrapped up in thinking about what we did the other day instead of what we're doing right now. So sometimes that's important to remember. I cannot read this. Second verse has some more detail. Redemption isn't my main goal. I'm looking for something much more personal. Resolution is what I need. If I could close up some of my memories. And this is the idea of, sometimes for me personally, I like looking at things from a meta level. If I can see what I'm doing in a bigger picture, then I realize that something that might be a huge deal to me that I'm really perseverating on really isn't that big a deal in the bigger scope of life or what else is going on in that month or whatever the context is. And also the idea I mentioned in the first verse about lessons in right or wrong, sometimes it's really, really easy to think too much about certain memories, and I wish that there was a way to just go and go, oh, I can think about that later. Unfortunately, that's not how my brain works. Which brings up the idea, as a songwriter, sometimes when you write about things that are personal, things that are you, it's important to remember that even though other people might not feel it in the same way, you can write a song about your own perspective and word it in a way that other people might understand and relate to. And that's part of the key. And as you write more songs, and this is why I always advocate to people in the comments, if you want to write a song and then write 10 more and then write 20 more, because that's the only way you're ever going to get better. And the third verse is usually where I wrap up the story I'm telling, where a story usually has a beginning, a middle, and an ending. So the end of the story in the dark I can see, but not that far ahead of me, meaning I realize where I am, but I'm still looking for it. I'm still looking for that way out. There's some hope right there. The last couple lines of the song, I'll make my way in spite of you, because I don't hide what I've been through. At the end of the song, you have a lot of context for the story. You realize that there was someone involved, And everything in the song kind of funnels down, and you learn like there was a person, there was something going on, but you're not going to hide it. You're going to let it out because that's how you process it. That's a way that you can move forward because it's how your yesterday makes your today. I always film my videos ahead of time. So right now it's July and I'm thinking this will be posted in October. So yeah, I'm a nerd and plan stuff out too much. But I do want to mention I do have Blood Candy CDs in, and by this time I should be putting out some information about pre-orders, what I'm going to do for a release show, and things like that. So make sure you check my community tab or the socials, and I do have a Patreon too. As always, thanks for watching. If you see something creative online, make sure you subscribe, follow, like, share, do all those things and let those creators know, hey, we like what you're doing. So see you next time. Why did I do that?